Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to watch another match of the quarterfinals of the 1 vs 1 tournament. This time we are watching Sago vs Kral Gomez. Sago is Elves and Kral Gomez is Isengard. So remember guys, I have told you this before, this is probably the most interesting match of the tournament we have seen so far. The players are both hard pros. So this match will certainly be very interesting to see how each player will choose to play. As you can see, Kral Gomez has already elected to start with Cavalry, and I'm not sure if he did see Sago's base. No, he didn't. But perhaps he knew that Sago was Elves, since Sago used his Farsight, and you can hear Farsight when someone uses it. So perhaps Kral Gomez knew that Sago was Elves, and of course he chose to play with Warg Riders, which is obviously the best choice when you're up against Elves. But as you can see, Sago with his Farsight, he can see a Kral Gomez base, and he can see that Kral Gomez is playing with Cavalry, so he has made one unit of Spearmen already, and he's making a second one as well. And I suspect he will try to send this unit to destroy Kral Gomez Warg Pit. Both players have captured one of those ruined towers, one each. And Kral Gomez here is doing a nice job bypassing those Spearmen, but of course Sago has made another unit of Spearmen in his base. So right now I think Sago is moving his builders along with his Spearmen. Perhaps he will want to make a heroic statue in order to provide leadership for his Spearmen, as the Elven Spearmen are very weak in armor, so maybe the Fortress Arrow from Kral Gomez fort could kill them, but now with leadership they will definitely take down Kral Gomez fort, and here Kral Gomez uses his birds to cancel the leadership of Sago. I can't see Kral Gomez Warg Riders anywhere in the map, so probably Kral Gomez tried to destroy Sago's barracks, but of course he didn't succeed. And here let's see if Sago will save his, if Kral Gomez will save his Warg Pit. Yes, he does. Very nice save here at the very last minute. Only one hit left for Kral Gomez Warg Pit to be destroyed. And here Sago will send some swordmen to finish the job. I'm not sure if Kral Gomez has any more money. Let's check it out. No, he doesn't. Because he has already made one barrack, and he is producing one unit of spearmen, one unit of archers, of course, to protect his base. Sago here is doing very good versus his opponent. He already has, I can see, 3 farms on the map, and of course one barrack, and he has already captured one of those outposts, where Kral Gomez only has 2 farms and 1 barrack, and none of those outposts. And you can see here a very interesting tactic regarding PowerPoints. Sago elected to use Farsight to see what his opponent is. I'm not sure, I mean, I have never used Farsight to see my opponent. I would always rather to use maybe Rallying Call if it is 1k, or Heal if it is 4k for my heroes, because with Rallying Call you can really do a lot of damage with your swordmen. But you could see that Sago elected to see his opponent. Obviously seeing your opponent is a big deal for Sago, and of course I agree with that, but you could see that he used his builder to make a heroic statue in order to cover for the fact that he didn't have the 5 PowerPoint Rallying Call again. So very interesting tactic by Sago. I really like this. And in the meantime he is continuing to spam troops. Sago has decided to play with some cavalry. I very rarely see people playing with elves and playing with cavalry. Elven cavalry has a very good damage and also is very fast, but it is very weak in armor, so they die very easily, and they cost 500, so this is why people don't choose to use them. But here Sago will definitely take his opponent off guard, because Kral Gomez doesn't have any spearmen, and of course he didn't expect to need spearmen, since he knew that Sago was elves and it was unlikely that he was going to play with cavalry. So very nice play here by Sago, and he will manage to take down a lot of Kral Gomez farms here with his one unit of cavalry. And in the meantime Sago has another unit, but I suspect that Kral Gomez of course will make some spearmen to protect his base, but still very nice play here by Sago. He did take down 2 farms, and now he's going to take another one of Kral Gomez with only 2 units of cavalry. And now Sago has under his possession 3 out of 4 outposts. The 4th one has not yet been captured, but Sago has decided to destroy it in order to not allow Kral Gomez any extra resources, even if he does capture it. And I think this game is already over. Look at how many troops Sago has, and Kral Gomez pretty much doesn't have anything left besides his 2 barracks and this farm right here, but those buildings are definitely going down. Very well played by Sago, excellent play, amazing play, and you could see that Kral Gomez did everything right. He knew exactly what he had to do. He decided to play with some war riders and put some pressure to his opponent. After that Sago countered this tactic, and then Kral Gomez decided to play with infantry units. He did make some archers first to defend against the Lorien swords, who are excellent against structures. And after that, when Sago decided to counter his opponent's archers with some cavalry, Kral Gomez did make some spearmen, but of course it's always the hardest to try and defend when your opponent is putting a lot of pressure to you. It's very hard to attack him at the same time, so basically your opponent has a lot of farms, a lot of leveled up farms, since they are not attacked. And if your opponent has more money than you do, he will definitely win the match, and in this case Sago did that, and of course he will win this game. But again, very interesting match, guys. Remember, both these guys are hard pros. I'm very interested to see what will happen in the next games. Sorry about that. And yeah, game is over. Let's just see the second game now. And here it is, guys. Sago versus Kral Gomez, game number 2. The first one was won by Sago, so it's 1-0, and this time Sago is Mordor. This time he is at the top side of Rohan, and Kral Gomez is at the bottom, and Kral Gomez is men. Of course, a small advantage is for Mordor in this fight. Mordor versus men in 1k. I think Mordor does have a small advantage since it has cheaper units, but orcs are a little faster than Gondor soldiers, so you can pretty much outrun any units that will try to defend and go straight for your opponent's resources. And you can see Sago is playing very aggressively. He is starting with 2 barracks and 2 units from one unit from each barrack, so 2 units in total, and of course he will capture this outpost. I'm not sure how Kral Gomez will decide to use his builders. He is starting with a lot of farms. I'm not sure why. You can see he has elected to make 3 farms already. And I can't see his other builder anywhere in the map. He does have one at the top right corner, perhaps. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I can't see his other builder, but it doesn't matter. So Sago has already started harassing his opponent, and you can see why I don't believe that starting with all those farms is not a very good idea. Especially in 1K, your opponent is definitely going to harass you, and here you can see that, oh, there is his last builder. You can see that Kral Gomez has lost all 3 of his farms. So those are, even if Kral Gomez did manage to destroy, delete all those buildings and get half the resources back, those are 450 that he could spend on units. And this was a devastating attack by Sago. Early in the game, it's like the first minute of the game, and Sago has managed to destroy 3 resource buildings and 1 barrack of Kral Gomez. Of course, Kral Gomez does have... Oh, okay, this is why Kral Gomez didn't make any more units in his base, because he has elected to play with cavalry. Perhaps when he did so that his opponent was Mordor, he did make 1 stables at the top right corner of the map, so Sago can detect his stables. And here he has decided to attack Sago's barracks with his Gondor knights. Of course, he has used the rallying call, and he will probably take down both barracks of Sago. Although Gondor knights are very weak and perhaps they cannot last that long. Yes, Kral Gomez here decides to draw back his Gondor knights in order to save them. And you can see Sago hasn't left any buildings in Kral Gomez base. And in the meantime, he has captured 2 of those outposts. The third one is captured by Kral Gomez, but Sago is sending 1 unit there now. And Sago knows that Kral Gomez will probably have made his stable somewhere else in the map, since he knows that his base, Kral Gomez base, is empty. So he is sending those orc warriors there, and he has found Kral Gomez barracks, and he does take a good position. He uses war chant on his orc warriors, and look at how fast Kral Gomez stables are going down. And now Sago has recruited his first hero to counter the cavalry of Kral Gomez. Of course, with a couple of Nazguls, you can pretty much kill most of the cavalry that your opponent will send you. And if he has Theoden, who will provide leadership for the cavalry, then it's okay, because Nazguls do have the Dread Visage, which cancels the leadership. And yeah, pretty much 3 Nazguls and the Mouth of Sauron are probably the best way to counter any cavalry from men. And then of course in late game you can use the Witch King on foot, who is amazing against concentrated cavalry or concentrated units in general. And yeah, this game is over, guys. As you can see, Kral Gomez doesn't have any other buildings somewhere in the map. Well played by Sago, but in this particular game it is very hard to play against Mordor with men. I have told you this before, I believe against men dwarves and Mordor have a great advantage over them. So I do believe that this game was a little bit unfair considering what armies each player was. But it doesn't matter anyways, well played by Sago in both cases. Sago showed us his class here. Like I told you, I do believe that Sago is the best challenger for this tournament. And yeah, the quarterfinals are over, guys. I will start uploading some matches of the semi-finals right away. Remember, we've got some very interesting fights in the semi-finals. We've got Del Piero versus Gus Fraba in one leg and God versus Sago on the other leg. Now that Kral Gomez has been defeated, I believe the next most interesting game will be God versus Sago. Remember, God has showed us that he is one of the top players of the game and he is challenging Sago for the tournament, and I do believe that this semi-final will be like a final. Whoever wins this semi-final will win the tournament, but I'm not sure. Gus Fraba and Del Piero are also very strong. We have seen them playing very nice in their games, but yeah, we'll start uploading those games right away, guys, and I hope you enjoy them.